It's manga time once again with Fairy Tail 318 Gajeel versus Rogue. And the fight is really heating up. I'm going to split this review into two parts. The first part, basically Natsu and the others, Future Lucy tries to get them out of the Pitfall Palace. I'm pretty sure they're still in. But Arcadius and Yukino disappear. So that's pretty suspicious right there. Is Arcadius actually a good guy? What is he doing? Maybe he's just trying to get back to Hisui. But Future Lucy's like, I know my way through. I know how to get through without facing any of the army. Lo and behold, they run into the army. So, you know, what is Future Lucy planning? Is she's definitely a bit dodgy. And after we had that suspicion raised in the last chapter, pretty much everything she does is now suspicious. So yeah, and now Natsu and that lot are fighting them off. And they try and use magic against him, but he's like, you really think you can use magic against a specialist? And so they're having that fight. Mira Jane goes off to find Yukino, so I presume she's going to run into Yukino and Arcadius, and something crazy might happen there. So that's one half of what happens in this chapter. The other half is the main part, and the title of the chapter is Gajeel versus Rogue. And I just want to say that I freaking loved this. It's been a long time since a Fairy Tail good guy has been demolished in battle. And Gajeel gets demolished in this chapter. For the most part, Rogue's really cool. He's getting the screen time he deserved. With the Natsu versus Sting and Rogue battle, we kind of thought that was it. We barely saw any of the Shadow Dragon's abilities. Now we're seeing them. Now he's doing really cool stuff. He looks awesome. His attacks look awesome. And he just decimates Gajeel. Like, for example, when it returns to him, he's just holding him up by the throat. You know, it was quite interesting, actually, because my first thought was, oh my god, like, Rogue's gone hollow, in Bleach terms. And, but he was really good. He really kicked Gajeel's ass for the most part. And Jalal, who seems to be the voice of all wisdom at the moment, says that they recognise this magic. I presume it's maybe Zeref, but at the same time, I mean, the guy Rogue said that my name's not Rogue anymore, it's Shadow, so you presume it's just the power of his dragon. But it could be Zeref, and I didn't particularly like how this chapter ended, but at the same time I did. Basically, Rogue destroys him, throws him to the ground, and then he's like, I'm going to kill you now. But for some reason, Gajeel can eat the shadow and transform into some awesome creature. The Iron Shadow Dragon. While he does look really cool, this is literally another example of friendship and all this rubbish. Because it's not really, it's kind of rivalry in this case, actually. Because Gajeel's like, well, if Salamander can do it, then so can I. And therefore he gains absolute power. Well, he doesn't gain absolute power, but, you know, he gains power enough to face off against Shadow. So I didn't really like that. I presume now Gajeel is going to win, which is really disappointing. Really disappointing. But, you know, that's how Mashima writes the series. You cannot read Fairy Tail expecting the villains to ever win, for there to ever be any real tension. There was tension in this chapter, and there is still the tension of what is going on in the background, because something is going on. But just the individual fights are nearly always going to end disappointingly, so you can't go into them thinking, well, the good guys aren't going to lose, because they're just not. And I'll be damned if Rogue beats him. I'll be very happy if he beats him, but I'll be damned if he does. But yeah, I really enjoyed this chapter for the most part. Gajeel looks freaking awesome on the final page. I'm going to drop a 9 out of 10 on this. And this fight's really heating up. I hope it carries on. I hope the ending's not too obvious. But what did you guys think? What do you think the magic is? Do you think it is Zeref? What did you think of Rogue? What did you think of Gajeel's new look? Yeah, catch you next time.